Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time I'm going to do our Week 4 NFL predictions. We're going to look at all of our games we have coming up for this upcoming week, and we're going to break them all down. Look at the teams, the rosters, the offense, the defense, and try to predict the outcome for every single game. Guys, let me just slide in here real quick. I just want to let you know this is a re-upload from our video that came out Monday. We had an issue on one of the slides. The score was wrong. The spreads were wrong. Someone brought it up in the comment section. So I wanted to make sure to get the video re-uploaded with the correct slides. Thank you for bringing that up. If you ever see anything wrong, let me know in the comment section and I will get the video correct. We'll have our updated NFL video coming out tomorrow with the updated spreads, picks, all that info. But I wanted to make sure this video had the correct slide on there. Thank you guys. Let's go back to the video. If you have any comments, by all means, drop them below. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your thoughts on these games? Who do you think the winners are going to be? Leave it in the comment section, and I will respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment down below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. We're going over every game this entire season, so make sure to follow along with us. Now, just to let you know, the Monday night game has not happened yet for Week 3, so as of me making this video, that game, the jury's still out on that one, but it is never too early to start looking at the next week's matchups. Let's go ahead and get started. The very first one we have kicking everything off is going to be our Thursday night game, which is the prime video game. This Thursday, September 25th, 8:15 p.m., the 2-1 Seattle Seahawks versus the 2-1 Arizona Cardinals. The big news, James Conner goes down. He's out for the season. Massive loss for the Cardinals, but still overall pretty good team. The Cardinals here, and they have a pretty good offense. The defense has actually been playing surprisingly well so far this season. The fans are going with the Cardinals. They have them as a 53.1% chance to win this one. Seattle, a 46.5% chance on the road. Cardinals are 1.5-point favorites, a 43.5 over-under. Right now, this Cardinals offense, like I said, they are moving the ball pretty decently. 20.7 points a game, throwing for 165 right now, running for 111.3, giving up 17 points a game. That's actually a top 10 statistical defense right now, but Seattle also has one too. Right now, the big thing that the Cardinals can do, they're only giving up 76.3 yards per game on the ground. Good front seven. Getting a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, but their secondary, they're not holding down their side. They're giving up 264.3 through the air. They can shut down the run, but there will be opportunities to throw the ball. Seattle, they're averaging 29.3 points a game. Pretty good offense, throwing for 219, running for 96. They do have to get those rush yards up, but they're only giving up 15.7 points a game. That's a top 5 defense. 221.7 through the air, 90 on the ground. Pretty good rush defense. The secondary, not as bad as the Cardinals. When you're looking at this Arizona team, they have some depth here. Marvin Harrison Jr. got to come up with the big catches. Jones, Wilson, Kyler Murray, he can do a little bit of everything. Mobile quarterback, but he wants to mainly beat you with his arm. Even when he takes off, he's still keeping his eye looking down the field. When you look at the Seahawks here, they have a whole new coaching staff, new schemes, new systems. If they can get Sam Darnold playing on the level that he played off last season, look out for this team. Deep running back room, Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker III. They have Horton, Smith, Cup. There's veterans on this team. Call me crazy, guys, but I'm going to go with Seattle on the road here, winning this one 23-20. And then moving on to our Sunday games, we have our Dublin game at 9:30 a.m. One of the early ones. This is going to be on NFL Network. The 2-1 Minnesota Vikings. The injuries kind of starting to pile up here. J.J. McCarthy, he might not play this game. Carson Wentz, though, showed this past week, if you let him start, the guy has a lot of reps under his belt. Experienced backup quarterback. He put up some pretty good numbers. He has a good running back, one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. They'll be on the road versus the 2-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are actually starting to play some really good football right now. They have Rodgers, they have Tomlin. If they get that defense on track, watch out for this team. Pittsburgh, 47.2% chance to win. Minnesota, 52.4% chance. Vikings are 1.5 run favorites, 41.5 over-under. Right now, a lot of the fans slightly leaning with Minnesota, but this is a stacked roster. When they get fully healthy, as long as Carson Wentz starts, they have Jordan Mason. They have Justin Jefferson, some might say the best wide receiver in the NFL. Hawkinson, weapons at running back, wide receiver, tight end, solid defense from last year. Looking at the Steelers, so much hinges on the performance you're going to get from Aaron Rodgers week in to week out. Jalen Warren, Rodgers, Smith, DK Metcalf, Austin Jones. There's a lot of weapons on this team as well, but usually the Steelers are known for their run game and for their solid defense. They haven't quite had the defense so far this season, but if they can get that on track, like I said, definitely keep your eye on this team. Right now, Minnesota, they're averaging 27 points a game, throwing for 145.7, running for 122.3, only giving up 18.7 points a game, only 141.3 through the air. They will try to make it difficult for the Steelers to vertically push the ball down the field. Pittsburgh, they're averaging 24 points a game, throwing for 184, only running for 63. They got to get the rush numbers up. You cannot win these competitive games if you cannot consistently run the ball. And they're giving up 25.7 points a game, almost 250 given up through the air per game. Whether it's J.J. McCarthy, whether it's Carson Wentz, there's a lot of vertical weapons here. I got to go with the Vikings to win this one on the road. They take it 27-20. And our next game on Fox at 1 p.m., the 1-2 Cleveland Browns. How about the win they got this past week? Give this team some props. They'll be on the road versus the 1-1 Detroit Lions. As I already mentioned earlier, the Monday night game hasn't happened, so we don't know what the outcome of that game is as me making this video. Right now, the Lions at home, they have a 76.7% chance to win. Cleveland at 23.1. Lions are 8.5-point favorites, 45.5 over under Cleveland. They finally got the ball moving this past week. They finally were able to score enough points to win the game. They have a very good defense on paper. The issue has been quarterback play, consistency on offense, getting the defense off the field, moving the ball, sucking up some clock, letting your defense get some breathers here, because the defense used to control the pace of the game, but whenever the offense could not move the ball, they were left on the field the whole game. They got wore out second half. That did not happen this past Sunday. The Detroit Lions coming off a week where they scored 52 points, one of the best overall offensive rosters in the NFL. So many weapons on this team, weapons at every level. Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Laporta. There's weapons up and down this team, and they have a defense that is capable of a lot as well. You have to keep your eye here on the Browns. They're only averaging 15.3 points per game. That's about what they were averaging last season. They got to get that up. They got to try to get as close to 20 as possible. Throwing for 203.3, running for 86.7, giving up 22.7 points a game, but only 57 yards given up on the ground per game. A really good defensive line. The Lions, one of the best offenses in the NFL. They actually had the number one offense last year, 33.1 points a game. Right now, still top 5, 32.5 points per game. Throwing for 267, running for 111.5, giving up 24 points per game. I have to go here with the Lions at home. The offense is back on track. As long as Goff has a typical Goff game, sometimes he'll have 2-3 picks, sometimes he'll have 2-3 touchdowns. Give me Goff, good version of Goff. They win this one 27-17. And how about another fun one? 1 p.m. on Fox, two of the best teams in the NFL facing off. You have the Philadelphia Eagles coming in here 3-0, undefeated on the road versus the undefeated 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, 3 straight games coming back from being down, winning at the end of the fourth quarter. Props to them. Props to Baker Mayfield. One of the best teams last season, comeback player of the year last year. Picked up right where they left off. The offense is consistently moving. Once they get Chris Godwin back, Mike Evans, that's going to be a legit wide receiver core. Egbuka, kind of banged up right now, but has also come on the scene massively as a true rookie. Very talented wide receiver core. Bucky Irving, Baker Mayfield doing the magical things that Baker Mayfield does. But hey, the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champs. You got to give this team some respect. They're undefeated, coming off a game where they were down a lot to the Rams second half, fought their way all the way back and won. Eagles, 52.9% chance to win. The Bucs, a 46.7% chance. Philadelphia's 2.5-point favorites, 45.5 over-under. Looking at these two teams here, the Eagles, talented, deep roster. Saquon Barkley, the best running back in the NFL. Jalen Hurts can do a little bit of everything, throwing it, running it, and no one has figured out the tush push yet. Deep tight end room, deep wide receiver room. Brown, Smith, Tampa Bay, they can balance that out with their own offense, but if this turns into a shootout, it could honestly go either way. That's why it's practically a 50-50 game. Philadelphia is averaging 25.7 points a game, throwing for 146.7, running for 122, giving up 21 points a game. The Bucs, 24 points a game, throwing for 191.7, running for 130.7, giving up 22. The Eagles' defense is not back to where it was last season, but it's only week 4. The season's completely early. The Bucs last year, 28 points a game. They want to get back up to there. This is one of those games. The Bucs at home, you got to give them a legit shot to win this, but I'm going to go with the Eagles pulling off a very, very close one here, 27-24. And another very difficult game to call on Fox at 1 p.m. How about the Carolina Panthers last week? Well, they win that one 30-0. Came out of nowhere. They didn't just pull off the upset. They were completely dominating. They curb stomped their opponent. They're 1-2 on the road versus the 1-2 New England Patriots. The Patriots, 6% chance to win. The Panthers, a 39.7. New England here, 4.5-point favorites, 44.5 over-under. Carolina finally got the run game going this past week. I've been saying Chuba Hubbard, slow to start the season. If they can get the ground game going, that's going to open up the play action. It's going to massively help out Bryce Young. Panthers, 20.7 points a game, throwing for 186.3, running for 90.7, only giving up 17.7 points a game. This team was giving up like 30-31 per game last season. Massive improvement. It's only week 4, but so far, the numbers look pretty solid. And right now for the Patriots, 20 points a game, throwing for 245.7, running for 100.3, giving up 22.7 points a game, only 60.3 on the ground. They're going to make it difficult to run the ball. That's what they want to do. They want to put Bryce Young in the third and long situations, try to force some turnovers. This is going to be a competitive game. I honestly think this is a game that's a lot closer to a 50-50. Panthers can pull off the upset, but I got to go with the home team. Vrabel, the defense at home shutting down the run game. The Patriots win a low-scoring game, 23-17. Then on CBS at 1 p.m., the 2-1 Washington Commanders. How about that win this past week? Jaden Daniels goes down, the offensive rookie of the year last season. He's a guy that could do everything. He could throw for 3,500, 4,000 yards. He can run for 1,000 yards. He goes down. You think that would be a massive loss for this offense, and it definitely was, but they do have one of the most experienced backups in the NFL. Marcus Mariota steps up. This offense did not miss a beat. That's a testament to the team. That's a testament to the coaching. They'll be on the road here versus the 1-2 Atlanta Falcons. Not a good game this past week. They got to get the offense on track. Penix looked like crap this past week. He loves the vertical deep passing game. They got to get that on point. He has to play better. He has to be more reliable. Keep the turnovers down, man. Right now, Washington, 52% chance to win. Atlanta, a 47.6% chance. Falcons are the underdogs. Commanders, 2.5-point favorites. 46.5 over-under. The big news is going to be dominating this. Are we getting Jaden Daniels back? Or did Marcus Mariota play so well that you can afford to maybe give Jaden Daniels one more week to get some more rest? And then obviously for the Falcons here, they just got to get their offense playing a lot more consistently. Penix right now, only one touchdown so far this season. Daniels, he's got more than that. He's missed one complete game and he already has 3 touchdowns. The Washington offensive roster, very deep. The addition of Deebo Samuel made them even better. Pairing him with Scary Terry, very good wide receiver core, young guys, veteran guys. The Falcons, stacked offensive rosters. Weapons up and down the field at every single level. Penix, Bijan Robinson, Algiers, London, Pitts. There's weapons all over the team. They're just not consistently using them, and they're not playing smart football. Too many turnovers, sloppy pay, penalties, kicking. All those things are bad. It's going to make it hard to win these very close competitive games. Washington, great offense so far. They had a top 6 offense last year. They're averaging 26.7, throwing for 196.7, running for 157.3. Very balanced, only giving up 19 a game. Falcons, 14 points a game. One of the worst offenses so far this year. 193.3 through the air, 139 on the ground. At least they're moving the ball. They're just not punching it in, and they're only giving up 19.7 points a game. They have a shot here at home. That's definite. We don't know who's starting out, so we will revisit this game to see who the starting quarterback is. As of right now, though, give me Washington winning this one, 27-20. And at 1 p.m. on CBS, the 0-3, the winless New Orleans Saints. Saints have a lot of issues. Spencer Rattler definitely hasn't been on this season. He is either off or he's on. There's no middle ground. He's been mostly off this year. They do have some weapons, though. Kamara, Olave, Cooks. They need better quarterback play. They need better defensive play. They need better coaching. They're on the road versus the 3-0, the Buffalo Bills, the number 2 offense last season, the reigning NFL MVP. Josh Allen picking up right where he left off last year. He's having a good season so far. Right now, he has 5 touchdowns, 69 of 99 for 800 passing yards. Bills, 78.8% chance to win. The Saints, a 21% chance. Pretty much everyone is on the Bills side. They are such heavy favorites here. Sometimes it's a little concerning. The Bills are also 15.5-point favorites. Massive spread here for an NFL game. The over-under is 47.5. Nobody on this earth is giving the Saints a shot to win this game. That's kind of scary here when you're looking at Vegas. Right now, Saints, 15.7 points a game. Throwing for 199.7, running for 102.3, giving up 30 points per game. That defense has really let this team down. The Bills picked up right where they left off last year, and then a number 2 offense last year. Right now, they're averaging 34 points a game, throwing for 257, running for 163, putting up some of the best overall team stats. Josh Allen making the case for another MVP. They're giving up 23.7 points per game. I do hate massive lines with a 15.5-point spread. Give me the Bills to win this one, 28-17. And also on CBS at 1 p.m., the 0-3, the winless Tennessee Titans, coming off that number 1 draft pick, Cameron Ward. The offensive line, for Christ's sakes, you guys got to buy this guy sometime. The most sacked quarterback through the first 3 games in NFL history. He's under consistent pressure. He's made some boneheaded decisions, but when you're getting beat up that much, when you're getting rushed that much, makes it very hard for a rookie quarterback. On the road versus also the winless, the 0-3 Houston Texans. How the heck are the Texans winless right now? A lot of people had them winning their division again. Some people were saying they had the number one defense in the NFL. This is number one defense now versus a very young rookie quarterback, but they've been getting torched up and down the field. Trevor Lawrence was throwing for all over Houston. Come on, guys. You got to play better than that. Right now, the Texans, 68.4% chance to win. Titans, 31.3%. Texans are 6.5-point favorites, 39.5 over-under. Tennessee as a team, 17 points a game, throwing for 133.7, running for 88.7, giving up 31.3 points a game. Defense has definitely been an issue. And for the Texans, 12.7 points a game, throwing for 172.3, running for 95, giving up 17. So the defense is still holding up its side of the bargain. They need some help from that offense, though. I honestly think this game's a lot closer to a 50-50 than it would initially appear with those numbers. I think the Texans are going to win it, but I think it's going to be low, and I think it's going to be sloppy. Texans win 20-17. 1 p.m. on CBS, the 3-0, the Los Angeles Chargers. Want to start for this team. Props to Harbaugh here. He has this team ready to go. Justin Herbert, this is the most efficient and decisive Herbert I've ever seen so far throughout his career, throwing a beautiful pass right now. They'll be on the road here versus the 0-3 New York Giants. The Giants, they showed some flashes on offense last week, but unfortunately for them, it was just versus the Cowboys. Everyone seems to be putting up points on the Cowboys. Right now, the Giants, 35.6% chance to win. Chargers, 64.1. Chargers, 5.5-point favorites. 45.5 over-under. Justin Herbert, Hampton, Quentin Johnson, Ladd McConkey. This team is loaded, and they had a top 10 defense. They have a top 10, top 5 defense this season. The one thing is, Harbaugh's pretty much gotten away completely from running the ball. They are extremely pass-happy, but it is working so far, so you can't knock it. The Giants, they're not necessarily doing anything particularly well. They're not averaging a bunch of points, but they're not having issues moving the ball, and they are throwing for a lot of yards. Right now, the Chargers, 23.3 points a game, throwing for 270, running for 92.3, only giving up 16.7 points a game. Gotta love that. Giants, 21.5 points a game, not bad. Throwing for 289.5, running for 79. They got to get the rush yards up. And on defense, they're giving up 30.5 points a game. That's a top 5 overall defense. They're getting torched up and down the field, giving up almost 280 through the air. That does not bode well versus the Chargers team that wants to live and die by the deep ball. Give me the Chargers winning this one, 30-17. On Fox at 4:05 p.m., the 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars, solid dual-purpose win there versus the Houston Texans. The offense was moving the ball. The defense was playing well. They'll be on the road here versus the 3-0, the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. 49ers, 51.9% chance to win. The Jags, a 47.8% chance. 49ers are 4.5-point favorites, 45.5 over-under. The big thing about the 49ers is, to me, last season, in my personal opinion, they had the number one roster in the NFL if they were fully healthy. They were never fully healthy at any point last season. That's starting to trickle over into this season. Guys are dropping like flies. Jennings, Purdy, McCaffrey's been banged up, but he has been playing. They lost Bosa. Mac Jones got banged up. The injuries, it's going to be hard now to be able to consistently overcome that many obstacles. At some point, you're just going to falter. Like I said, 49ers, a 51.9% chance to win, 4.5-point favorite. So the fans are still siding with the 49ers. So is Vegas. When you look at these team stats here, you have the Jags coming in. They're actually moving the ball pretty good. Trevor Lawrence, still a lot of turnovers. Got to keep the turnovers down. But they're averaging 23.3 points a game, throwing for 214.7, running for 141.7, only giving up 17 points a game. Could the Jacksonville Jaguars finally have a defense? That would be something else. We haven't seen a good defense from this team since the Saxonville days. Then you have the 49ers, 19.7 points a game, throwing for 271.3. Just like last season, they are living and dying by the pass, running for 89.7, only giving up 16.3. You know the 49ers, they're going to have a good defense. They're at home, but it is what it is. I'm going to go with Jacksonville pulling off the upset. They win this one 20-16. And at 4:05 p.m., how about this game? The 3-0, the undefeated Indianapolis Colts. If anyone saw this coming from the Colts this season, drop it in the comment section. This is great. Daniel Jones is out there looking like Colts Peyton Manning, slinging the ball up and down the field. They're playing good defense. Jonathan Taylor looks great. He looks completely fully back to top-notch prime Jonathan Taylor. And with Daniel Jones, with the arm, the passes he's making, what he's doing with his legs, this is looking like a good team very early on here, but it would be a cool thing to see. They'll be on the road here versus the LA Rams. They had that game versus the Eagles. They coughed it up at the very end, but they had it. Showed what this team is capable of if they play up to what their ceiling is. If Stafford stays healthy, if the back's not bothering him, they are loaded with weapons all over this field. Williams, Nakua, Well, so many pieces here. Right now, the Rams come in here. They're going to be the favorites at home, 3.5-point favorites. The over-under's 48.5. LA, 59.6% chance to win. The Colts, a 40.1% chance. As a team, the Colts, one of the best all-around offenses, one of the best all-around teams. 34.3 points a game, throwing for 265, running for 153, only giving up 18.7 points a game. Where did this team come from? The Rams, 24.3 points a game, throwing for 236.7, running for 127 with Stafford. He's a straight gunslinger. He'll give you 3-4 touchdowns. He'll give you 3-4 picks. But when he's on, and their defense giving up 20.3 points a game. I think coming off that loss versus the Eagles, they're going to rebound with the win back at home. They win this one 28-24. And you knew that we were going to have one primetime game versus two of the best overall teams in the NFL. Our next matchup, 2:25 p.m. CBS, the 1-1 Baltimore Ravens. Monday night hasn't happened. We don't know the outcome of that game, but you know who Baltimore is. Stacked offensive roster, playmakers everywhere. Lamar Jackson, the guy's a past MVP award winner. On the road here versus the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs. Actually, as of me making this video, the Sunday night game's wrapping up. They're going to be 1-2. KC, talented team. Patrick Mahomes, they didn't get off to the best start this season, but probably the hardest start to any opening schedule so far this season. Zero reason to panic. There's still a lot of season left in front of them. They're going to get stuff back on track. KC, 44.6% chance to win. Baltimore, 55.1%. Very close. The Ravens, 2.5-point favorites. 48.5 over under. This Ravens roster. Derrick Henry, just shy of 2,000 yards last season. Lamar Jackson, he can do anything you ask from a quarterback. He's more than capable of doing it. Throwing it, running it, dual purpose guy. Flowers, Andrews, likely. There's just weapons at every single position. Their big issue is they give up a buttload of passing yards. They can shut down the run. Last season, the number one rush defense, an awful secondary though. KC last season with Jones, they were one of the better defenses in the NFL. Top 10 defense. That's what led them all the way to the Super Bowl, basically. Creating turnovers, giving the offense the short field. KC, not quite the fully healthy team, obviously. Worthy, banged up. A lot of injuries to this team, and they don't have a true wide receiver number one because it's definitely not Brown right now. Patrick Mahomes, still the leading rusher. That's not going to cut it. The rest of that running back room, Pacheco and company, you guys have to step up to take some pressure off of your quarterback. He should not be running the ball. He's your primary guy. He should only run when he gets flushed out. Looking at the overall team stats here, the Ravens 40.5 points a game, the number one offense in the NFL. Throwing for 195.5, running for 141.5, giving up 29 points a game, 298 through the air yards-wise. That is way too much, but only 111 on the ground. KC, 19 points a game. Throwing for 211, running for 109.5, getting a 23.5 points a game. Their defense is much better than that, but I think the Ravens have too much firepower here. But KC's defense, their experience, they at least make it close, but they lose it. Baltimore wins 27-20. CBS at 4:25 p.m. How about the performance from the Chicago Bears this past weekend, beating the crap out of Dallas? Although everyone puts a lot of points on Dallas these days, but hey, a good performance is a good performance. Props to the Bears, props to the new coaching staff, props to Caleb Williams for having a good game. The Bears are 1-2 on the road versus the 1-2 Las Vegas Raiders. It's Pete Carroll's team, new new scheme, new coaching staff. Raiders 52.5% chance to win. The Bears a 47.1. Bears though 1.5-point favorites, 47.5 over under. Which version of the Bears shows up? The one that was scoring at will last week, or the one that we got the previous weeks before that? They can vary completely. Caleb Williams sometimes he stays in the pocket too long, stares down guys. This isn't college. Get rid of it. The DEs are way too quick. But sometimes when he's on point, he shows why he was taken as one of the top picks in the NFL draft. The Raiders here. This is a veteran team, but when you have Geno Smith, you can get a multiple different versions of Geno Smith any given Sunday. 3 picks, 3 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 5 picks. It completely varies what version of Geno shows up. Ashton Gentry, gotta get him going on the ground. Myers, Brock Bowers, there's playmakers there, but the Bears can also counter that. Swift, Odunze, Moore. They have guys as well, but I think with the Raiders having lost last week, with the Bears having won, give me Las Vegas rebounding here. They win this one 23-20. And our final Sunday night game, 8:20 p.m. on NBC, the 2-1 Green Bay Packers versus the 1-2 Dallas Cowboys. There was a lot of word this past week that the Packers might have been the best team in the NFL, and then they came out this weekend and they got the crap kicked out of them by the Cleveland Browns. How does that happen? That is humbling, though. Teams need that because it resets you, gets you back on track, keeps you hungry. They'll be on the road here versus the 1-2 Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys almost beat the Eagles week 1. Would have given them some momentum. They definitely did not not look good this past weekend. They have their guys healthy. Well, CeeDee Lamb is kind of banged up right now, but CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Williams, Dak Prescott. What happened to this Dallas defense the last 2 to 3 seasons? They used to have a top 5 defense every season. It's completely fallen off the rails. It's just as bad this season as it was last year, if not worse. Right now, the Cowboys here, 40.9% chance to win. Green Bay, 58.8% chance on the road. Packers, 6.5-point favorites, 48.5 over-under with Green Bay. They have the offense. Yes, they didn't show up this past weekend, but at least Cleveland has a really good defense. That is definitely not the case with Dallas. Dallas gives up 2 to 3 times the amount of points the Browns are giving up right now. Green Bay, they're averaging 21.3 points a game, throwing for 202, running for 98. Even after losing this game, they're only giving up 14.7 points a game, only 168 through the air, only 64.3 on the ground. Solid defense, one of the best ones in the NFL. Their front seven is extremely aggressive. Dak Prescott, he's going to be feeling a lot of pressure, a lot of heat this weekend. Dallas, 24.7 points a game, throwing for 268.7, running for 125. The issue's not moving the ball. It's the defense giving up 30.7 points a game, giving up 288 through the air. That's awful. 109.7 on the ground. I think Green Bay, they are coming off the loss here. They're going to be angry. They're going to take it out on Dallas. Dallas doesn't have the coaching staff or the talent to eat that up. Dallas loses this one. Give me the Packers winning it 32-23. And in Week 5, we're actually blessed. We have 2 Monday night games. The very first one, 7:15 p.m. It's going to be an interesting one on ESPN. The 0-3, the winless New York Jets. The Jets here, when they get Justin Fields fully healthy, this is an offense that can have a lot more success moving the ball because it's what he can do with his legs, extending plays. They lost a very close one to the Buccaneers, though. They showed what they're capable of when their offense is on track. They can compete with the Bucs, who was a playoff team last year, probably going to be a playoff team this year. They're going to be on the road here versus the 0-3, the winless Miami Dolphins. Both these teams in the same division. Both of them are winless. They're just trying to get off the floor, get out of being bottom, last place. The Dolphins, 54.7% chance to win. The Jets, a 44.9% chance. Miami, 2.5-point favorites, 44.5 over-under. This is a very tough game to call. When you look at the Jets, if they're fully healthy, Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Wilson, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, the defense needs some work. The Dolphins, though, what are we getting with Tua? They actually put up a pretty decent fight versus the Bills. Can they get that same performance back-to-back weeks? McDaniel's job, it is on fire. The seed is hot. Greer, I don't even know how Greer's still there. You got to get rid of Greer. He's the 3rd longest tenured GM in the entire country. Why? Well, how does he keep getting extended with the garbage drafts that he does? Tua, just please, for the love of God, don't have another concussion. Achin, Hill, Waddle. Hill and Waddle had a pretty good game this past weekend, but the offense has not been consistent. They haven't been able to run the ball. The defense, poor tackling, bad angles. Right now, the Jets, 23 points a game, throwing for 144.7, running for 127, giving up 31 a game. The Dolphins, though, they're worse. 18.7 points a game, throwing for 192, running for 89.7, giving up 32.3 points a game. I kind of waffled back and forth. Very hard game to call. Give me the Jets pulling off the upset. They win it 24-20. And our final game of the day, and our final Monday night game, 8:15 p.m. This one's going to be on ABC. The 2-1 Cincinnati Bengals coming off their first loss. Don't forget, they don't have Joe Burrow. He's gone for, 3 months right now. Hopefully he at least shows back up this season. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Fun guy to watch. Led the NFL in passing last year. Cincinnati would love to have him back. They have so many weapons here. Higgins, Chase, if they have their star quarterback, this team, they actually started out kind of hot this season, started out much better than they did last year. They didn't win a game last year until like week 4 or 5. They were 2-0 coming into this game. They didn't have Burrow. They lost it. It is what it is. They'll be on the road versus the 1-2 Denver Broncos. This was a playoff team last year. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Slow start to the season this year, but they also started out last year really slow. Bo Nix looked awful the first 4 to 5 games, and they completely turned things around. Sean Payton's system and his scheme fit Bo Nix perfectly last season with his skill set. Right now, the Broncos, 7.5-point favorites, 44.5 over-under. The Broncos are 57.2% chance to win. The Bengals, 42.5% chance. The Bengals, Browning, he's going to have a great game here to have a chance to go to Denver in the altitude and beat the Broncos at home. They do have a lot of weapons, though. Brown, Chase, Higgins. He's got guys that he can rely on, that he can throw the ball up to for them to come down. But the Broncos defense is a lot better than the way that they've been playing so far this season. Looking at team stats here, Bengals 19.3 points a game, throwing for 171.7, running for 49. They obviously have to get those rush yards up. That's not going to cut it. They're giving up 30.3 points a game. They had an awful defense last year, too. And Denver, 22.7 a game, throwing for 173, running for 129, giving up 21.3 points a game. Their defense is better than that. That number will be coming down throughout the season. Give me the Broncos rebounding from that loss. They're at home. I think they win this one handily, 28-17. Guys, that's my breakdown, my picks, my predictions, my best bets on all of our early Week 4 matchups. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, drop them below. Let me know what you think is going to happen this weekend. Leave it in the comment section. I will respond to every comment. If you want to sign up for our member team, check out that pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. And, of course, as always, thank you for watching.